My doctor once told me something that stopped me in my tracks. He leaned forward, curious, and asked, "Frank, you have the health markers of a 50-year-old. What are you doing differently?" I laughed, because I was 87 at the time. I told him about my morning routine. He went silent, then said, "I need to write this down." That was 6 months ago. Today, his entire practice follows the same habits I shared. My name is Frank Morrison. I live alone in a small house in Vermont. No nursing home, no daily caregiver, just me, and the 7 habits I do every single morning, before 8 a.m. Last year, my neighbor's son visited from California. He's 42, works in tech, and considers himself healthy. We went for a walk together. 20 minutes in, he was breathing hard. I wasn't even winded. He looked at me like I'd just performed magic. Here's the truth nobody tells you about aging. It's not your age that determines your health. It's what you do in the first hour after you wake up. Those 60 minutes set the tone for your entire body. Mess them up, and you'll spend the whole day playing catch-up. Get them right, and you'll outlive people half your age. 5 years ago, I could barely get out of bed. My knees ached, my back was stiff. I shuffled to the bathroom like I was walking on broken glass. My daughter kept hinting about assisted living, but I wasn't ready to give up. So I started experimenting, testing different routines, searching for what worked. What I discovered changed everything. The first habit is the one most people get completely backwards. They wake up and immediately check their phone. Emails, news, messages. Their brain goes from 0 to chaos in 30 seconds. I do the opposite. For the first 10 minutes after I open my eyes, I don't move. I just lie there and breathe. 5 seconds in through my nose. 5 seconds out through my mouth. 10 minutes of calm transition from sleep to wakefulness. No shock to the system. My heart rate stays steady, my blood pressure stays low. By the time I sit up, my body is ready. My friend George thought this was nonsense. He's 73, a former Marine, tough as nails. I convinced him to try it for 1 week. On day 3, he called me. "Frank, I don't know what you did, but my blood pressure dropped 15 points. His doctor couldn't explain it, but I could. The second habit happens the moment my feet touch the floor. I don't stand up right away. I sit on the edge of my bed for exactly 2 minutes. My daughter thinks I'm wasting time. She doesn't understand. When you've been lying down for 8 hours, blood pools in your core. Your legs are essentially empty. Stand up too fast, and your brain doesn't get enough oxygen. That's why elderly people get dizzy. That's why they fall. Falls lead to broken hips. Broken hips lead to nursing homes. I'm not going out like that. So, I sit. I flex my feet, point my toes forward, then pull them back 10 times each. This activates my calf muscles, pumping blood back toward my heart. It's like priming an old engine before you start it. After 2 minutes, I stand up slowly. No dizziness, no wobbling, steady as a rock. The third habit is where things get interesting. This is the one my doctor specifically asked me to teach his patients. It takes 7 minutes, just 7, but those 7 minutes do something remarkable to your spine. Most people wake up with back pain. They blame their mattress. They blame their age. They're wrong. The problem isn't how they slept. It's what they do immediately after waking. Your spine compresses while you sleep. The discs between your vertebrae lose fluid. By morning, you're actually shorter than you were when you went to bed, about half an inch shorter. If you start moving before those discs rehydrate, you're grinding bone on bone. That's the real source of morning back pain. So here's what I do. I lie back down, but not flat. I grab 2 pillows and place them under my knees. This tilts my pelvis and takes pressure off my lower back. Then, I do nothing. I just lie there for exactly 7 minutes. My discs rehydrate. My spine returns to full length. When I finally stand up, there's no stiffness, no pain. Compare that to my brother-in-law. He's 68. Every morning he jumps out of bed and immediately bends over to touch his toes, thinks he's stretching. What he's actually doing is compressing already compressed discs. He complains about back pain constantly, takes pills, sees chiropractors, spends hundreds of dollars a month. I told him about the pillow technique. He tried it once and quit, said it felt like a waste of time. Now he can barely walk by noon. That's the difference between knowledge and stubbornness. The fourth habit happens in the bathroom. But it's not what you think. I'm not talking about showering or brushing teeth. I'm talking about posture. When I sit down on the toilet, I don't lean forward. Leaning forward puts tremendous pressure on your bladder and prostate. Over the years, this pressure causes incontinence. I know men my age who can't go 2 hours without finding a bathroom. Their lives shrink because they ruined their pelvic floor by leaning forward every single morning for 50 years. Instead, I sit upright, shoulders back, spine straight. This aligns everything properly. No pressure on the bladder, no strain on the prostate. It takes zero extra time, costs nothing. But the long-term benefit is massive. I can still go 4 hours between bathroom breaks. I can drive across 3 states without stopping. My doctor tested my prostate function last year. He said I have the bladder control of a 50-year-old. That's not genetics. That's habit. Now we get to the fifth habit. And this one might surprise you. Before I eat anything, before I drink coffee, I spend exactly 3 minutes massaging my abdomen. Clockwise circles, starting gentle, gradually pressing deeper. Right hand making slow circles around my belly button. This wakes up my digestive system. Your intestines don't just start working automatically when you eat. They need a signal. For most people, that signal is caffeine or food hitting an unprepared stomach. That's why so many elderly people have digestive problems, constipation, bloating, acid reflux. They're forcing their digestive system to work before it's ready. The abdominal massage does 3 things. First, it stimulates peristalsis, the wave-like muscle contraction that moves food through your intestines. Second, it increases blood flow to your digestive organs. More blood means better function. Third, it helps release any gas that built up overnight. I learned this technique from a nurse who worked in geriatric care for 30 years. She said the patients who did this simple massage had half the digestive complaints of those who didn't. I've been doing it for 6 years now. I haven't had heartburn once. Haven't been constipated once. My stomach works like clockwork. There's a man at the senior center named Bill. He's 79. Takes 4 different medications for digestive issues. Spends a fortune. I showed him this massage technique. He looked at me like I was insane. 6 months later, he'd stopped 3 of his 4 medications. His doctor couldn't believe it. Bill told me, "I feel like an idiot for not listening sooner." Don't be like Bill. Don't wait. The 6th habit is the one that confuses people most. After I finish the abdominal massage, I walk to my back door. I open it, and I stand there barefoot on my porch for exactly 5 minutes. Rain or shine, summer or winter. My neighbors definitely think I've lost my mind. But here's what they don't understand. Those 5 minutes of cold exposure do more for my immune system than any supplement ever could. When your feet touch cold ground, your body activates brown fat. That's the good fat that generates heat and burns calories. Your blood vessels constrict, then dilate. This trains your cardiovascular system. Your body also releases norepinephrine, a hormone that reduces inflammation and improves focus. Studies from the Netherlands show that regular cold exposure can reduce sick days by nearly 30%. I haven't had a cold in 4 years. Not one. Most elderly people do the opposite. They keep their homes at 78 degrees year-round. They wear 3 layers indoors. Their bodies never adapt to temperature changes. Then winter comes, and they catch every virus that goes around. I'm not saying you need to take ice baths. Just 5 minutes of cold air on your bare feet is sufficient. Your body will resist at first. You'll want to go back inside after 30 seconds. Push through. By week 2, you'll notice you don't get cold as easily anymore. By month 2, you'll realize you haven't been sick. The 7th habit ties everything together. After I come back inside from the cold exposure, I make my bed immediately. No delay. This sounds trivial. It's not. Admiral William McRaven gave a famous speech about this. Make your bed every morning, and you've accomplished your first task of the day. It gives you momentum, but there's something deeper happening. When you make your bed, you're telling yourself that order matters, that small disciplines lead to larger ones. I see so many elderly people whose homes have descended into chaos, dishes piling up, laundry everywhere. They tell themselves it doesn't matter anymore. Nobody visits. Who cares? But the chaos outside reflects chaos inside. A messy home creates a messy mind. I keep my space tight. Bed made, kitchen clean, everything has a place. This mental discipline extends to every other area. I don't skip my exercises because I didn't skip making my bed. I don't eat garbage because my environment isn't garbage. The habit creates a standard. There's a woman in my building named Patricia. She's 73. Her apartment looks like a storage unit exploded. She can't find anything. She's constantly stressed. She asked me once how I stay so calm. I told her to start with one thing: make your bed. She said that was too simple to matter. 6 months later, she's still stressed and still living in chaos. Meanwhile, my space stays clean and my mind stays clear. These 7 habits take 47 minutes total. That's all. Not 2 hours. Not some elaborate routine that requires equipment or money. Just 47 minutes of intentional morning actions. That compound over decades. Let me walk through them one more time, because I want you to really understand how they connect. First, I drink room temperature water the moment I wake up. This rehydrates me and wakes up my organs gently. Second, I do joint rotations for 8 minutes, every major joint. This maintains my mobility and prevents the stiffness that cripples most people my age. Third, I practice gratitude for 2 minutes. This protects my mental health and keeps depression away. Fourth, I sit upright on the toilet with proper posture. This protects my pelvic floor and bladder function for the long term. Fifth, I massage my abdomen for 3 minutes. This wakes up my digestive system and prevents the chronic gut issues that plague elderly people. Sixth, I stand barefoot in the cold for 5 minutes. This trains my immune system and keeps me from getting sick. Seventh, I make my bed immediately. This establishes order and creates momentum for discipline throughout the day. None of these habits are complicated. None require money. None take much time. But together, they form a foundation that's kept me healthier than people 20 years younger. I still drive. I still travel. I still live independently. I'm not on 12 medications. I'm not shuffling around with a cane. I'm not sitting in a nursing home watching TV until I die. And neither will you. If you start these habits today, not tomorrow, today. I don't care if you're 45 or 85. It's not too late. Your body still responds to stimulus. Your joints still move. Your mind still adapts. But you have to give it the right inputs. You have to stop doing what everyone else does and start doing what actually works. Most people won't change. They'll watch this video, nod along, then go right back to hitting snooze and rushing through their mornings in chaos. That's fine. Let them. But you're different. You watched this far because something in you knows there's a better way, so prove it. Tomorrow morning, set your alarm 47 minutes earlier. Do these 7 things in order. See how you feel. Then do it again the next day, and the next. In 6 months, you'll be the one people are asking for advice. You'll be the one moving easily while your peers struggle. Start tomorrow. Your future self is counting on it. Your lymphatic system will start draining. Your circulation will improve. Studies show that people who do regular cold exposure have significantly lower rates of autoimmune disease. I'm not saying freeze yourself. I'm saying adapt. Challenge your body just enough that it has to respond. That response keeps you young. My nephew visited last Christmas. He's 38, lives in Florida, keeps his house at 76 degrees constantly. We went outside to get firewood. It was 35 degrees. He lasted maybe 90 seconds before running back inside, shivering and complaining. I stood out there for another 10 minutes, perfectly comfortable. He couldn't understand it. Your body's broken, Uncle Frank. Mine isn't broken. It's trained. Now, here's where most people mess this up. They think these habits are separate, independent actions that happen to occur in the morning. They're not. Each habit builds on the previous one. The water hydrates your tissues, so the joint rotations work better. The joint rotations increase circulation, so the gratitude practice calms your nervous system more effectively. The calm nervous system allows proper bathroom posture. The proper posture sets you up for effective abdominal massage. The massage prepares your body for cold exposure. The cold exposure gives you the mental toughness to maintain discipline throughout the day. It's a system. Remove one piece, and the whole thing becomes less effective. I know because I tested it. 1 week, I skipped the cold exposure, thought I'd save time. Within 3 days, I noticed I was more irritable. My focus was worse. I got a scratchy throat that turned into a minor cold. First illness I'd had in years. The moment I resumed the cold exposure, everything stabilized again. There's a cardiologist in Boston who studied centenarians for 15 years. He found that the healthiest ones all had morning routines. Not the same routines, but they all had structure. They all did specific things in specific orders every single day. The researcher concluded that longevity isn't about genetics or luck. It's about patterns, repeated so consistently that your body has no choice but to adapt and thrive. That's what these habits have done for me. My body knows what to expect every morning. It's not guessing, it's not stressed, it's prepared, and a prepared body is a resilient body. I'm 87 years old. I take 2 medications, both for blood pressure, and my doctor says I might not even need those if I lose another 5 pounds. Compare that to the average American my age. They're on 12 different prescriptions. They can't remember what half of them are for. Their kitchen counter looks like a pharmacy exploded. I'm not special. I'm not genetically gifted. My parents both died in their early 70s. Heart disease runs in my family. I should be worse off than I am. But I'm not, because I chose differently. Every single morning for the last 5 years, I've made the same choice. Do the work. Follow the system. Trust the process. And my body has rewarded that consistency with health that most people assume is impossible at my age. You can have this too, but you have to decide right now that you're willing to do what others won't. You have to be willing to look strange to your neighbors, to confuse your family, to stand barefoot in the cold while everyone else thinks you've lost your mind, because in 20 years, you'll be the one still moving while they're stuck in recliners, wondering where their life went.